Oh my god, that's a trippy.
Remember been in them blocks, I had to go hide from the jakes. I gotta make right decisions, everyone gon' make mistakes. How you gon' take from your brother and turn a smile in his face? Gang. You tryna get out of character, get put right in your place. It's hard to be clean forever, everyone gon' make mistakes. And if the cops pull me over, it might just turn to a chase. Thought you was my bro, you ain't ride like you said you was. I might just do the race and self-drive in the Tesla. Now I got a gun, cause he say he ain't a wrestler. You said that you a shooter, well I guess I'ma keep testing you. I'm only beefing by money, I'm like a cash cow. I see they peeping, I'm coming up and they ask how. She wanna party with me and bro got her ass out. I told her if she keep popping Xannies, then she gon' pass. I just wanna win, dreams of all of buttering, but I'm addicted to the streets, so I know that I'm a sin. If I die, my life start over, I'ma do this shit again. Swimming with the sharks, you a fish cut off your fin. Couple niggas locked, might not see daylight again. I gotta.
Yes, good evening, people. Hope everyone is well. Who we got in the chat? Let's have a little look. UK Transparency evening. Tony, Vlogking, what a nice fella. Ash, I like Vlogking. Opinion on it though. Forward exposure, big up yourself. Forward exposure. So, yeah, man. So, wait, I was trying to actually put this off until tomorrow, as a few things have come up this evening. But I did see that Vlogking went live, and I think he was a bit. I think I was going to stand him up or something. So no fraud or exposure. Nobody shall be blocked. Nobody shall be timed out. As long as people keep it civil, then of course not. I want to say as well that this isn't no kind of witch hunt on Vlogking. I have watched his content. I have watched his videos. Watched them again today. And yeah, I was interested to. It seemed like he was up for having a conversation about auditing. Maybe he's got some strong opinions on it, which I think are fair. Some of them I think are fair. And yeah, I thought it'd be good to get him on. So I did tell him half 8 tonight. He thinks I've stood him up, so I don't know if he's around. He's not in the chat, but definitely as long as people keep it clean, yeah, in the chat. No need for attacks, personal attacks, or personal attacks that are just malicious, and you know that they'll be timed out with and obviously dealt accordingly, right? But as long as everybody keeps it clean, then opinions are welcome, right? Is this not what we should be doing? Open up dialect over this. So yeah, that's my opinion. I'm hoping Vlogking will show up. If he doesn't, it's my bad. Because as I say, he has been waiting for me. Yeah, UK chat. Oh, dialogue, not dialect. Thank you for correcting me there. Thank you for correcting me. I do appreciate that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and send the link to how I got in touch. Well, how he got in touch with me this evening. Thoughts on the mass audit were they harassed the man who was going for counselling, then ordered to unzip his jacket. The man was visibly upset but the auditors were bullying him. You'll have to maybe name the channel or the video, man. I'm not always watching other auditors' content, if I'm honest with you. Big up David's Cafe, mate. Hope you're well. Hope you're well, pal. But yeah, so that's the reason for inviting Vlogking over. Anyway, is to open a conversation. But yeah, so everyone's got opinions on it. I don't think those that criticize it should be cancelled out. I think there's a lot auditors can learn from the criticism provided, if it's provided in a constructive manner. I think I'd say that mass audits is something that I have done earlier on in the channel. It's not something I'm so keen on these days, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not so keen on it these days, I've got to be honest. I'd rather just go out and audit by myself. I don't think if you go out in pairs isn't too bad. But any more than that, it becomes a bit of a shit show, in my opinion. It's not a mass audit, it's a gang. It can look like that, Ash, I guess. I guess it can be seen that it looks like that for sure. Mark Allen, why do remove comments that they don't agree with? I try not to, man. Like I say, as long as it's not personal attacks, right? If it's towards auditing, don't see any reason why you should have your comment removed, to be honest. Evening, Susie. Hope you're well. BBA, what's that? BBA, why do you think the anti-auditor movement is so strong at the moment? I don't know. Is it? Is the anti-audit? You'd have to tell me. I mean, I think it always has been, right? I think there's probably more people that still either against it or maybe don't understand the reasons for it. So yeah. Evening, Jerry. With two of you, at least you get each other's backs. Yeah, I think that sometimes helps, depending on where you plan on auditing and stuff. Some places I don't think warrants you needing to, but some places you could say that taking a man with you is a bit of backup, so to speak. Aren't auditors hypocrites, though? You leak security guards' names on social media, but when we do it to you, it's cry, delete, not saying you have done this. To be honest, my name is out there. It always has been from the start of my channel. Now, I personally think that if anybody's going to go out and hold the authorities to account, right, then I think that you have to be willing to be quite transparent. And with transparency comes things like your name. I don't think you necessarily need my address or those kind of details. You don't need my bank details or anything, right? But things like name, not too fussed by. If I have a good interaction with a police officer or a security guard then I've got no problem with sharing my name. Got no problem at all with sharing my name. The only reason I would not share my name when I know that I don't lawfully have to is if I feel that I'm trying to, they're trying to incriminate me. Then I wouldn't. Just out of the simple fact that that's my right and I don't have to. You know, respect works two ways. Let's be honest. If you're not being shown respect, I don't see why you should necessarily have to give it. But I think there's a lot of different styles to auditing, though, isn't there? Would people at least agree with that? Like, not, I don't think you could tar every auditor with the same brush in the sense of their approach. Yes, Vlogking, I got you, mate.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. You good?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm not sure what the lighting's like. I'm just literally sat in my car at the minute, charging my phone as well.
No, it's all fine, pal. It's all fine. You're a bit quiet, but I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to see if I can turn you up my end a little bit.
Yeah, I'm on full volume though. I can't go any higher.
Right, that's better, mate. That sounds a little bit better. Yeah, no, thanks for joining me, and apologies for keeping you waiting, mate.
Yeah,
a
no
few
problem.
things come up, mate. A few things come up. So yeah, I've been watching your videos around auditors. I think you've done 3 or 4.
Yes. Yeah.
I've seen your opinions on DJs auditing.
Yeah.
And I just thought, yeah, I'd bring you over, invite you over, and open a conversation about it. Get your reasoning for why. Well, if you could explain maybe to the viewers that don't know who you are. Again, you're more than welcome to promote your channel, what your channel's about, how it is that you've come about to uploading a video about auditors, and then give us a little bit of your opinion on it. Then I guess we'll go from there, if that's cool.
Yeah, of course. And just thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it. Thanks for reaching out. It's, you know, obviously you commented on my last video. I appreciate it. It's nice to be able to have a chat about it with somebody in the industry, so to speak. Because obviously, you know, I don't think I'd ever get the opportunity to do this with DJ, or I'm not too clued up on. So basically, we'll take it back to June, July last year. I've started watching DJ Audits, was a massive fan, watching his videos every single day. And then it was the one when he went out with PJ and he pushed the manager with the blue eye viz on.
Yeah, I know what video you're on about. Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt it was slightly out of character. I feel like he didn't deserve it. It was quite abrupt early on. Yes, DJ did say, "Don't come near me, don't come near me," but he was only, in my eyes, he was only putting the camera in his face like they was doing to him.
Yeah.
Kind of giving it back. You know, you're going to come on my side. I'm going to record you recording me. You could see the guy was totally unexpecting it. His glasses flew off his face. You could tell in his attitude he was quite nervous, and you know it did affect him. So that's where it all started for me. I didn't like it, and then I just feel like his agenda's changed over time. I think it's unfair that they go to these places and they withhold the information, and that's what I don't like. It's kind of tormenting. And my view, and maybe my views and my opinions because of the person who I am.
Yeah.
So I don't think, and I don't like the fact they're treating general members of the public, members of the companies they're visiting. These are just everyday normal people who don't want a camera in the face. They don't want to know you, and they don't want you to know them. Leave them alone. And then obviously on top of that, they're withholding the information. And what I was trying to express in my videos was, why can't you just go, show your identity, don't put a hat on, don't put a mask on? Because at the end of the day, there is a lot of people out there that will get intimidated by that. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. So, you know, you go into work, you're doing your thing, and stood there at the main gate where you go and sign in every day. There's a couple of lads sat there, stood there with the cameras. I mean, have you seen DJ from a different aspect of how he dresses himself and how he looks? You know, he's got his big bubble coat on, he's got his hat on, he's got his mask on, he's got his bum bag on, and he's got wires coming out of him, charging himself. He's like a walking charging port. But
all right, well, obviously the charger's hanging off of him and the bum bag. got no opinion on. I don't see a problem with it if that's what a guy wants to do.
Yeah, of
The
course, of
mask,
course.
the mask, though, I will say that in the early days I used to wear a mask. I don't so much anymore, because I do think that if I wear a mask, say for instance I'm at a police station, right, and I'm at the back gate of a police station and I'm wearing a mask. I'm doing an audit of a police station, bearing in mind, right? So
Yes.
let's say that the police don't come out and approach me. Doing an
Yeah.
audit, I would be questioning why someone in that police station isn't coming out and approaching a guy that's in a balaclava. Maybe only you can see his eyes, because I would expect that. So again, that would be, for me, part of the audit. However, I thought, you know what, because I knew that it was like, yeah, of course they're going to come out. Yeah, I'm no longer really going to wear a mask, because to me that's almost baiting them. I know, and categorically, almost 95% of the time, if I've got a mask to not having a mask, I'm more likely to be stopped. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I choose. I take a conscious decision not to, really anymore, if I'm honest. Again, I'm quite happy. I'd rather not, like now, but I'm quite happy to have my face on camera. It is in some of my videos. Like I say, things like my name, I'm quite happy to share. I think everybody.
And so you should be happy to show your identity if you're showing us the identity of other people that don't want it.
Yeah. Now, what's
accidental
your opinion? Oh, no, not what's your opinion. What do you think auditing's about?
So yeah, that's what your main comment was, reaching out to me, and maybe we have a totally different opinion on what the auditing is, and when we break that down, there's certain aspects of it that I do like, and obviously we're speaking now on the things that I don't like. But the audit. So when I first started watching DJ, I really enjoyed the fact that he's carrying out that audit on the company from a health and safety standpoint. You know, these rubbish off their company going onto the public highway, and then we as the taxpayers are paying for the councils to go and pick that up. I completely agree with all that. When these companies doing wrong, why not highlight it? Obviously, there's a lot of corruption within the police and other services and other organizations. If you auditors want to go out there and expose that, that's absolutely fine, because that is only going to bring good to the community, the world. Everything's only going to get better because you're exposing that, you're highlighting it. If you've got a huge following, they've got to then turn around and be like, hang on, we can't do this anymore, or the higher governments or whatever, they're going to shut it down and they're going to deal with that. Yeah, that's perfect.
Like, just to be honest, that's where I see auditing. Now, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say that you shouldn't audit private businesses. What I would say is DJ's good at it, right? Let's be honest. Like you say, I've been out with him, right? I've been out with him, and he will pick up on things that, like, I swear to God, I could go there 10 times and I wouldn't have picked up on the little things he does, right? And he's good at it. Now, with me, the same passion isn't held as, for me, when I look at auditing was more about holding the establishment to account. It was more about the authorities rather than, anything that was publicly funded was like basically fair game. Do you know what I mean? When I do the private companies and stuff, because I'm not so educated on the industrial side of things, when I'm going there, I felt, looking back at some of those videos, as if I was almost doing stuff to bait them, because I had, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going there hoping to get a reaction. If I'm not getting that reaction, then I'm probably going to maybe push the boundaries a little bit to see if I get them that way. For me, there was nothing in between. I couldn't educate you in between that, me turning up and then that initial interaction. DJ does that very well, and I think he's found a niche for it. He gets very good views. For that reason, I would say that there is an interest in it, definitely.
Whereas I feel that he's certainly slightly changed his agenda for the viewers to get the bigger views, to which obviously, you know, that's where my issue lies, because if you're going exposing a company, anything that's corrupt, and like you said with the funded stuff, of course we have every right to know where that money's going and stuff like that, and how it's being spent and distributed through all the other channels. So that to me is fine. What I don't like and what I disagree with is when he turns up at the front of the building and then starts to just minimize the information that he's giving, bearing in mind he's already restricting his identity. So it's one of them, you know, kind of, it's almost like he's goading and intimidating these. I see him as just the general public, you know, they're just hardworking employees of that company. Half of them will not care less about the company or the bosses. They're going for a paycheck to provide for their family. That's what they're there for. They don't care about the company. They don't care about you. They don't want to be anywhere near you. They don't want the bosses around them. They just want to go to work and do the thing and go home.
Yeah.
And I feel like too many times now, DJs caught up with them and other auditors as well. Let's not, you know, it's not all, this is not all DJ. I've used DJ because he was the one that I was watching. I was a fan. And then I've kind of disagreed with where it's gone. He could take it to whole new levels and just completely excel in this industry. Yeah. But I feel he's choosing to withhold the information for a better reaction, to keep everyone on the toes and see what can happen. I mentioned in one of my videos, I'm not sure if you've watched them all, I don't expect you to have done, but, you know, what is wrong with turning up unmasked? Go and do your thing, and when you are approached, just say, I'm DJ Audits, I'm from YouTube, I've got a YouTube channel, this is my TikTok, Instagram, I'm just doing a little video, I'm not going to bother you, like, and just be completely transparent about why you're there and what you're doing.
But do you not think, again, you said you're a fan of DJ, so do you not think maybe in the early days then, because you're saying that you feel like you've seen a change, would you not say that you've done that in the early days? I think
it possibly could have done. What you've got to, from my point of view, I only started watching him June, July last year, so I've not gone back and watched his previous. And obviously, I do take into consideration, as my opinion changes in my mind, it can manipulate certain things of how I see things. So he may have always done that since June, July when I started watching him. But because now in my mind, I approach and watch it differently, and I'm like, oh, I don't like that. And I'm picking up on it because I'm starting to disagree with it rather than just agreeing and watching and being a happy viewer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I heard you talk about you saying that you were thinking about doing it yourself, but as you stated, in the correct manner. I would say, and again, it's just my opinion, I don't think there is a correct way. I think that...
Yeah, agreed.
What you've got to understand, right?
It's my opinion.
I'm going to say, I totally agree on everything you said about the working man and stuff like that, right? And to be honest, if you go into like a factory or something, right, I wouldn't necessarily expect everybody to know the rights around filming and stuff like that, right? I get that.
That's what I love. I do love that aspect from you guys as well, when you are promoting the photography industry and what you are allowed to do. I feel that a lot of the viewers learn a lot about what they can and can't do in a good nature, because there is a lot of corruption out there, and there will be people that are stopping you doing things that you can do. No disrespect, but I didn't know about you before you've commented today, and I've not really had the time to look at how you deliver your videos and stuff. So I've watched one or two. I watched one where you approached police officers with a homeless man sat in the town centre.
Yeah.
I think it was about a year ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know which one I'm
on
about?
I know which one you're on about. I know which one you're on about.
Absolutely fine. You've not been disrespectful in any way. You've walked past, you've seen him being moved on, and you feel and obviously know that they can't do that. And you can see that in the video because they immediately walk off and leave him to it. because
Yeah.
you've stood up and supported him, and you know your rights, you know his rights. He doesn't know his rights, but he does now. So there's that aspect of it that's great. I like that.
Yeah,
I
this is
do.
what I'm trying to say. Like, I do get it, right? Not everyone's going to know, and although people that work in the public sector, I do think it's something they should know, right? So,
Yes.
like I say, I do think it's fair game that side, and I do worry that by maybe doing private companies and your so-called average working man, that actually that's the people that you're trying to get on board. They're the people that you're trying to educate. And if you're
Yes.
getting their backs up, yeah, then straight away, if you mention an auditor to someone where they've been at their work, right, and they've maybe fucking some auditors gone at them in a harsh way, right, and they feel like there's been some unjust, then when you mention an auditor, straight away they're going to be, oh, those bastards, those idiots come to my work the other day, put me all over social media. I get that side of it, but then there's the other side that really people aren't really doing a lot wrong. Like, it is a lawful activity. It's not like we're out there breaking the law. To
Yeah.
some people, it might be seen as, yeah, but it's really petty, man. Do you really, even though you can do something, do you have to go do it just because you can? I would
I
say
think the
this
most
day and age, yes. This day and age, I would say yes. We're having a
the
lot of
most
our little
important
rights
thing
taken from us.
the most important thing, in my opinion, is use as auditors. It's your attitude when you're approaching and how you approach it. Like that's all fine. And when you're promoting these regulations, what you are allowed to do, and you're showing other members of the public, look, you can do this, there's nothing wrong with doing this. And when you implement that in a positive way, that is perfect. But when it's restricted information and it's all that kind of stuff, and especially to the average working person who's just there for a paycheck, and they want the wages and they want to get home to the family, I obviously take the approach of, I'm thinking about how that person's feeling inside, and how not you, but how the auditors are making them feel for no fault or reason. Like, you don't know what they're going through in their life. I mentioned on one of my videos, I think it was Auditing Yorkshire, and a couple of other lads, they went into a building and there was a couple of security guards, and they're calling him fat and Mr. Kipling and all sorts of very nasty words. They've walked into his workplace. He's just sat there trying to do a job. And I'm looking at this video thinking, that poor man, he was 60 odd year old, slightly overweight. But at the end of the day, I'm just thinking, he could have lost his wife last week and he's dragging his ass to work. He's dragging himself to work to pay his mortgage or whatever situation he's in, pay for his late wife's funeral. And that's what he's got to deal with. Like, because at the end of the day, we all go through that stuff.
I get that, and again, without sounding disrespectful, that's all kind of like ifs and buts. That's
Of course,
hypothetical,
Yeah, but that's where my standpoint is. Obviously, everyone's different. That's my opinion. That's my standpoint. I care about how I make other people feel and think and stuff.
No, and so you should, and I definitely think that there's nothing wrong with showing a bit of fucking empathy and compassion towards people.
Yes.
And again, I don't even think that matters whether that's the average working man or even a copper, to be honest. And but yeah, like I keep going back to it, it's a lawful activity. I don't feel like there's anything too wrong. I did hear you say in one of your videos when you were talking about I might do auditing, you said that you may contact the company first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're
going
to tell me that's something you've tried to do.
I'm going to tell you, actually, I haven't, and something I probably should have tried. Actually, I did with one company. They give me an email when I went on an audit and said, look, here's my email. If you do it properly, we'll sort something out. I never heard back from them. But so, again, I think that you're a bit, I don't want to use the word deluded because that sounds like I'm being harsh, but I think you're a bit deluded to the fact that you think you're going to ring these companies. You're going to ring these companies. You're going to ask them if they're interested. Let's say you contacted, I don't know, 50 companies. How many of those companies do you honestly think would get back to you?
Well, that's the thing. That's the same thing as sending CVs or anything, if you want to think of it in that light. What is the best thing to do? You turn up at the door. You turn up at the door. You knock on. Bearing in mind, no cameras, no nothing. You devote a day to go around a certain area. Like in my hometown where I'm from, I know I can go to at least 5 or 6 companies and they'll snatch my hand off and say, "Come in, let's do this. Get me some nice footage. Get me some good media. I want some good drone shots of me company. Get all the good vehicles out. Get everything nice and washed. Get it in the sky. Get some photos. I'm going to put that in my reception area and I'm going to put it on my website." At the end of the day, that's the way the world's going. Is it's all social media based. I said in one of when I did my live stream when I was waiting for you, you know, I literally, I'd love to just go to these companies and do that for them. And there's a lot of companies out there that I'd love that. But when you turn up with your cameras, it's not going to go down well, is it? So you take the time to go and have a chat with them and say, "Look, this is what I can do. This is one I've done before." Show them some footage. And it's just one of them. It's like, it's the same as when you're going for a job. You can send 50 CVs, or you can walk to the place at the bottom of the street and show them how committed you are and stand there and say, "Hey, mate, have you got any jobs?" That always worked in mine when I was a child. Well, I say a child. When I was a late teenager coming out of school, the jobs I got was me turning up at that place and asking for a job, not sending a CV. It's the same with anything. You show your presence, you show your professionalism, show them what you can do, and everyone benefits from it. And that to me is a good audit. And
I'm looking at some of the comments here. That's not what auditors want. They want angry people as it brings in clicks and views, which makes money. I can't speak for every auditor. I would say to a degree, you are right in what you're saying, right? Confrontation will bring clicks and views, and the more views you get, the more money it generates if you're monetized. So you're correct. However, it depends what you want out of auditing. What I've learned is I'd rather have 10 minutes of open conversation with someone, right? Whereas civil, right? It might not be as exciting to everyone, but I definitely feel like I've got what I want out of it. Then half an hour of me standing there having a slagging match with someone, or do you know what I mean? And I've learned that, like, even with the police, like, not all of them, and they are limited to what they can say, but some of, again, they're human beings, right? So some of these individuals, if you actually approach them in the right manner and they've got the time, they will answer to a degree, you know, what they can. And that's better, me standing there and having a 10-minute conversation, which then I hope when the viewers see that, all those people that don't like the police, and there's that negative thing, that gap that there is between the public and the police, it kind of gets smaller, because people actually start to see and go, "Actually, that copper, I've seen 10 videos today of coppers and they've all been crap. See this one here?" And I think that if we're gonna, I'm not saying that we should be I don't think we should be giving them too much praise for doing their job, but I do think, like, if you're going to go out there and highlight the wrongdoings, then at the same time we should be out there probably highlighting when someone's doing good as well. I'm talking more about the police side of things and that, because that's more what I'm into than the other side. But I would agree that there probably are people out there. I know myself that, and I've admitted to it, that at times I look back at videos and I've definitely pushed the boundaries in order to get a video that probably, if I hadn't have done that, I probably would have walked away with nothing. And that's just being honest, right? I could sit here and tell you that's not the case.
I appreciate your honesty. No, I appreciate that. Because
UK Transparency says, regarding what you said about planning to go to a company beforehand and letting them know that you're going to turn up, and he's saying, is that not a misrepresentation of what a company is like on a normal day?
Well, of course, you've got to take that aspect. If you are planning and arranging this with the directors and management, then they have the opportunity to put things right that are not right. So it is a misrepresentation, but also at the same time, you're approaching it and doing it in what I would call the correct way. You're giving them the opportunity to do it or not. And bearing in mind, you could ask them, and if they say no and you get a bad reaction, you might end up just doing it anyway because you was going to do it anyway. So it depends how you look at it, because a specific site that you ask might say, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, but we're not ready. Can you come next week? And within that week, they have a real good shake up. And say, for example, there was 25 health and safety hazards on site that could affect a member of the public as a customer coming on site or one of the employees. If they then correct that and rectify these issues, then you've had a good positive impact on that company.
Yeah.
So only good can come from that.
Yeah.
So it's all
it
depends how you want to look at it. And
yeah, I did, Ash. I did. Where was that? MI5. MI5. I'm sure I've still got it somewhere. I'm backed up. But yeah, I did say that the other day on a live. I didn't get anything there. That was a few months ago, so I never actually uploaded it. To be honest, I'd have got a couple of 100 people watch it. Maybe I should have been a bit more transparent. Maybe I should have put that up to show that actually I was left alone. So maybe that's something to take on board going forward. Maybe they should be going up regardless of whether I get an interaction or not. Obviously, if I'm not getting an interaction and I've been left alone, I guess that should be highlighted as well. So yeah, that's a fair comment. That's a fair point.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, fair comment. Good
But
answer.
yeah, do you know what I would say? Definitely, if you're thinking about going out and auditing, right? I would say, just my opinion, I would say go out and do a couple of audits or whatever, even if you've done a couple on the same day, without actually informing them that you're coming first. I'm not saying wear a mask or anything like that. Show your face or whatever. Stay within public land. And I would say to you that
honest,
after you've done a few, if you've done everything that you felt that you were morally comfortable with, and you get no interactions, then I would turn around and say maybe you're onto something and maybe you got a fair point. But I personally think what you'll find is you will go out and you will stick to where you should be, and you won't have to act suspicious or dodgy, right? And then you'll see that I think you will probably get a couple. And then when you're doing that day in, day out, or you're going out a few times a week, and eventually you're getting these people come out really hostile with you, it does have an effect on you. It does have an effect on you to the point where you do actually start to think, you know what? I'm not going to be so respectful. I don't get shown respect when I go out and I flex my civil right to go out and do something, right? So it gets a bit frustrating at times. It gets a bit frustrating, mate, to be honest. And I think sometimes that can cause the order to sometimes act a bit out of practice. And I'm not saying that's all. There probably are ones that you've watched where you thought, nah, from the get-go, they're bang out of order. I know that if you go and look through my channel, definitely through some of the earlier stuff, you'll find that. You'll find that, and I'm not going to sit here and say you won't. But
you can't.
I'd say it's one of those things until you've actually done it yourself.
But to be honest, an uncomfortable.
It's all just opinions, and do you know what I mean? I think it should be done this way. It should be done that way.
If I was to go and do one, and I ended
You've gone all silent, pal.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, mate?
Gone all silent. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now, buddy? Oh, I don't know what's going on.
Chat, can you let me know if you can hear Vlogking? Because I can't hear. Picking up no sound.
Can you hear me now? I'm still here.
I can hear him fine. All right, I'll come out and see if it's me. Right, can you hear me, pal?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Sound. Yep, spot on.
Lovely, fantastic. Yeah, just going back quickly to what you were saying there, I do kind of disagree with that. I feel like if that's just tarnishing everyone with the same brush, you know, you've kind of had a bad experience, so you've kind of thought, oh, well, stuff that then, I'm not being nice anymore. That's like going down to your local pub and
No. I'm not saying turn up
Right.
somewhere and not be nice. I'm saying that it gets to the point
You got fed up
that
of it.
sooner or later that when someone comes out and approaches you in a rash way, that's really it's not even that they've got no right to. Like if you're an average worker in a factory, right, and there's someone stood out on a public footpath and they're filming, what right have you got to go over to them and ask them what they're doing? Like that, that's above your pay grade. Just get on with your job. In fact, actually, if you left them alone, you would neither end up on social media or end up making yourself look silly. Now, I'm not saying that orders sometimes don't try and make them look stupid. What I'm telling you is I've experienced it enough times where the only person that's made them look stupid is themselves.
Yeah, and in that situation that you've been in, was you walking, like if you're walking down a public footpath and you've got your, you know, you've got your selfie stick on, you've got your tripod and you're holding your camera up into your face and you're walking down the street, are you saying people have approached you from companies doing that, or have they approached you because you're pointing the camera onto their site where they work and they can then distinguish the fact that this guy's not walking down the street recording himself, he's recording the company I'm working at? Surely they all knew in their head, because why would somebody approach you? You know, you won't go up to anyone just walking down the street recording themselves.
But that's the thing. Even if I am filming their building, right? As long as I'm on public land, right? I can film what the eyes can see. That's lawfully okay. There's no reason you can stand and take a picture. Many photographers do. I uploaded a video today for somebody that's not an auditor. Their hobby is to go around and take pictures. They can do cool stuff with. He was taking pictures of like padlocks.
Right.
Yeah, like he can do cool stuff. Believe it or not, when you do a bit of editing on a padlock, you can make a padlock look quite cool. Yeah, so people like that kind of thing. Again, he was harassed there. He was harassed there, told to get off land that they had no right to tell him to get off. He had implied right of access. Okay, it would have been seen as public land. They threatened to call the police on him. Again, why are they calling the police on him? He's not doing anything against the law. You know, now people are going to waste police's resources in calling the police for a man with a camera that sometimes they're not even filming. They're literally taking still shots. Now, how this day and age, when we all hold a smartphone, they've all got cameras on. Everyone holds a camera on a day-to-day basis now. Why is it that everyone's so scared of one? Don't understand it. I really don't understand it. You know?
Yeah. I feel the person, the employee or whoever's approaching, I feel like in that situation they'd feel like they was being recorded in their direction, you know, in that situation, rather than just walking down the street. They've seen you 5 minutes before recording round the corner on the same building. In their mind, they know at the point of approaching you, they know full well that you're recording that building that they're working at, hence the reaction from them. Would you not agree?
No, not really. I can't say I do, mate. Like I say, for instance, if you were out with your family and you're taking a picture or you're doing a bit of filming, do you worry about making sure no one else is in the shot? If someone come over and said, "Oh, excuse me," and started talking to you like shit or approached you in a bit of a rash manner, yeah, are you telling me that you'd be like, "Yeah, no worries, mate. Sorry, I'll turn it the other way, or I'll delete this footage"?
In that
If that's what we're getting to, where we're asking people to do that, then this country really is going down a slippery slope.
I believe in that situation, it's the family that's taking the photo, the members of the public. You know, you remain courteous to that. Like when you're on the beach or whatever, you're taking a family photo, the public will then choose to walk around you so they don't get inside your shot, because they don't want to ruin the shot for you, so to speak, if that makes sense. It's kind of always the other way around. It's more the people who would get accidentally included, they they don't want to be in it, or they don't want to ruin your picture.
Yeah. So do you think you will go out and do an audit?
So I have no intention of doing an audit from the concept and aspects of how you guys do it, because there's just so much negativity involved, and you are going to get them confrontations. I would rather, have you ever seen the program on the Discovery Channel, How It's Made?
No, I don't think I have, pal.
No. When you, I don't know how old you are, but when I was a very, very young boy in primary school, we used to watch a program, Pippin with a dog and a woman with a spotted aeroplane.
Yeah, I know what you're on about. Yeah,
we used to watch that in school. That was fantastic. So she'd go to an apple factory and show you how apples were made, and that's the video. I would love to go and speak to a director of a company, ask him to come in and do a little video of the. I'd sit down with him, chat to him about where he's come from, where he started, which generally is a small unit, 2 or 3 lads. Now I'm a multi-million-pound company. Let's go through the process so we can chat with the owners, the directors, the management, whoever's got the time available. They will tell us about the business, the company, how they operate, where they operate, and then we can have a walk around the factory in a safe working environment. Obviously follow all the site rules and just literally go around and make some little videos of their guys working, and watch the product being made from coming in as the raw materials to leaving the door to the customer as the finished product. And that, to me, is where I'm at with the auditing, and I will be doing that. And
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. And who knows, right? You could go out and do that, and it might be successful. You might be successful at getting those meetups, allowing you to come in and do that. I think if you did, you'd definitely find a niche, a bit like DJ did at the time when he first come around. I definitely believe you would. Again, I'm going to sit here and say, and I don't mean to be negative, but I'm going to say I think that your struggle could be wrong.
I think you could go and do 5 locations a day, no problem. The only thing that's going to stop you is your own time, what you can put in it. Whereas with me, I'm going to struggle to find the actual companies that are going to allow me to go in there. But it's one of them things, at the end of the day, the way the world's evolving, everything's social media based. It's just the way it is. And, you know, if you snooze, you lose. If you don't keep up with it, if these companies don't follow these new social medias and stuff like that, if they don't have these pages, they will get left behind in the near future. So it's important that companies evolve to the environment around them, how we are evolving as humans. At the end of the day,
I agree. And if you're doing that, you're going down that avenue, then I would definitely say that I would be for that. I mean, me personally, when I found your videos, when I come across your videos, I didn't sit there and be like, getting really frustrated. In fact, some of what you were saying, maybe 50-50, right? Maybe a lot of it actually I agreed with. And I think you'll find that a lot of the auditing viewers, or a good proportion of them, will actually agree. I mean, Outlaw King here, I've known him for the time that I've had my channel, 2 years, so he's been around the auditing, and he's saying, so he's agreeing with you that, you know, I don't agree with filming businesses for no reason, but you can't pacify the workers for them acting the fool because they don't know the law or what they're actually talking about. Yeah, I mean, so, you know, he doesn't agree with it. He doesn't agree with the thing, but I guess he sees, you know, I don't know. Everyone's different, mate. There's people here that give me, there's people within the auditing community that will give me some stick, right? Because I've sat here today with you and opened a conversation rather than cancelled you. And I don't think that that's good for the auditing movement. Me personally, I think there needs to be more of this. I think there needs to be people like yourself that have got a view that probably doesn't fit the view of others, and come together and have a conversation. Because I believe that, like, if we've done that, when it comes down to it, and we've spoke long enough, and we both give our opinions, I think you could meet each other in the middle a lot. I think you'd agree with a lot more than you'd not agree with. Do you know what I mean?
I feel we got there. I feel we got there in the first 20 minutes with that, mate. I honestly do. At the end of the day, everybody's different, everybody's got their own opinion, and everyone's got their own approach to how they want to do things. At the end of the day, like some of these auditors out there, something else I mentioned in my video is I believe DJ Audits is one of the top influencers for the auditing industry. You can probably tell me more on that,
sure.
whether that's
Yeah,
true
I would say for sure he's definitely, he does well at what he does, man. And I think actually, the idea of auditing moving forward actually isn't just to have a load of brain knuckle dead people like myself, right? That maybe I think the idea is for people that maybe are a little bit more educated and have got a bit more knowledge to come in and do this. And DJ done that. He did come in, and he's well spoken, you know, and he was well at putting himself across in a good way. I don't actually watch that many auditing videos, right? So say for instance DJs, I haven't watched like say the last 5 of his, so I couldn't tell you what he's up to too much now. What I can say is I have worked with him, and he's, like I say, he's fantastic at what he does. And I've always thought that he like done it completely different from most other auditors, and actually he was almost setting like a bar for other people to kind of reach, because he was doing a lot better than others.
That is one of my points exactly. He's one of the main top influencers in the industry, and I believe, you know, he should lead by example. And I believe that a lot of channels have set up off the back of him, off the negative interactions, and they see that his videos get a lot more views, and I feel like he pushes for it a little bit more by withholding the information. And then you get these new channels that set up off the back of that, and they just go in 10 times harder than he does, and they're just complete rude. And
you know what it is? Group audits, maths audit, group audit, they're not good. They're not good.
They're not good.
I can take you back to one that I done like in Cardiff for a police station, right? And a few others where, because you're out in a group, you're all fighting for that bit of content for one. And when there's a few of you, egos, I don't care what anyone says, egos get the better, right? Everyone's fighting to, and then you start all acting a little bit out of character and stuff, right? And it becomes a fucking shit show. So for me, I've learned that I would personally rather go out by myself or with a second man. I don't think it's too bad going out with 2 of you. It's all right to have a little bit of backup, especially when some places you go can be met quite with some hostility, let's say. But yeah, any more than 2, I would say that's too much. It's almost like a gang mentality sometimes. That's how it comes across.
It just changes everybody's ego, like you said. Everyone's that little bit more confident, that little bit more of everything that they're not usually. It's like anything, you know, you get a group of lads walking down the street, they'll all mouth off at you. You get them on their own, and not one of them will say a thing. It's that kind of playground attitude, so to speak. But yeah,
do you know what else I've noticed? And again, it falls down more to the police side of things, but there were like a lot of people that come into this, and I don't think they've got the right agenda now. I'm not going to say that someone shouldn't be allowed to make money off of social media. Like you said, that's the way the world's going. If you can make some money off of social media, if you can get yourself to that point where you're making money, then fair play to you. I believe that anyone has the right to go out and make a success of anything if they put the work into it, right? Social media included.
At the end of the day, it's down to the individual and how evolved you are as a person to how you're going to carry out whatever it is you do, whether it be an audit or whatever you do in life. At the end of the day, it's down to that individual of who you are and what you're about. If these auditors can go out there and just, you know, the ones that I believe have set up off the back of DJ Audits, I might be wrong, but these just go in and they're just absolutely horrible. Some of them don't even speak, they just mumble. It's just madness, and obviously, like, I watch them, and when you see a clip here and there, I'm like, how does that person sleep at night knowing that, you know, they've tormented that other person so much? But obviously, it goes back to how evolved that person is as a person, you know, spiritually, mentally, and just where you are in your head, in your life. To which, you know,
Again, I just want to point again. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I've got criminal records, none
Of
serving
course,
now,
it
but
doesn't
I have
matter.
done in the past, right? I
I've
am
come
going to
from a
say
bad
just
place as
because,
well, you know.
yeah, right. So just because I do believe just because you've done wrong in your life, it doesn't mean that you have less rights than anyone else. Your rights are still the same. As long as someone's not doing what they once were, then I don't think you can persecute a man or woman for
Yeah,
the rest of
I
their
will
lives,
never, I
apart from
will
a few
never
crimes.
ever, never judge anybody by what their past is, judge them by who they are today and what they're about now. But yeah, same. I've done a lot wrong in
But
my life, and I've evolved as a person to where I believe I'm a very good person now, and I'll do a lot of good for people.
that does bring an ugly side to auditing, though, unfortunately. Like in the time I've been around, there's people that have turned out to be people that have more got a gripe for the police than anything. Me
Yeah,
personally, right? I'm not a fan of the police, but I'm not out there. I don't hate them. I'm not saying we don't need police and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, but there are people out there that have got a gripe for the police. There's people that have gone out. It's turned out 6 months down the line. We had one person that had broke like his 5 week or 5 month old baby's leg and ribs. Yeah, and
Jesus.
then they're out there sometime, whether they've served on their time or not. Then they're out a short time after that, then thinking it's right to go up to police and try and hold police accountable. And it's like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, you then start questioning their agenda and why actually it is they're doing what they're doing. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because for me, someone like that should just not be even given a platform, in my
yeah.
opinion.
Which is exactly
Um,
what we've just spoke about. It just all boils down to who that person is inside and what their end goal is and what their agenda is.
yeah,
Obviously, for someone like that, that's they're obviously holding a lot of hatred towards them. They're going out there because they want vengeance or whatever. But it's the wrong mindset to be in. It's the wrong mindset, and that's what I'm coming to terms with. I don't expect all these auditors to be in the same mindset as me and to be where I'm at mentally in my life and in my mindset, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Because everyone's on different levels, and if I went out and did an audit the way you did it, and I had a really nasty interaction with someone, giving it all that, screaming at each other for half an hour, I'd feel shit. It'd make me feel crap for the rest of that day and longer. Like, I just want to go and speak to that person and put it right and kind of make myself feel better about the situation and
Again,
be the
I feel
calm and
like I'm
down.
getting a bit soft, but again, I agree there to agree. Yeah, I agree a
Is
little
it
bit
being
there
soft
because
though?
no, no, well, I don't know.
Is it
Maybe
being
it's not,
soft or is
but
it being a
there is
man?
a point of auditing and what it's about, and a lot of it is also about standing your ground. At the end of the day, I don't want people to sit there and think they don't have the right. You do have the right to stand your ground.
Yes, of
But
course.
I found like I even do it like I've had a couple of like videos where I've been a bit shitty with them, yeah. And then by the
Yeah,
end of it, I find myself like, yeah, sorry, mate. Like, as long as we leave on a good note, yeah. So I would prefer that. Like sometimes, again, it is a entertainment platform, YouTube, right? That's why most people come here. If I can sometimes bring a bit of humour and will I bring a bit of humour to at their expense? Yes, I will. I think again, there's a line there with doing
yeah,
that. But like I say, if I can try and just a bit of light-hearted fun, man, like, and they can try and see by the end of it. I'll even say a lot of the time, like, it's nothing personal. Do you know what I mean? Because it's
yeah,
not. It's nothing personal. Like, and I think that's where not soft, but maybe evolved. Then maybe evolved, but certainly, like, I would never have done that 6 months ago. Yeah,
yes, yeah,
I'd have just left and been like that and not give it a second thought. But yeah, my conscience probably does come in a little bit into play a little bit more these days, to the point
yeah,
where I will try and leave if I can, with it being, do you know what I mean, on good terms rather than not.
yeah,
So I do get it. I do get it. Everyone's a human being. Again, and I say that even if you're a copper or whatever, even a politician. I hate to say that, but again, you're only a human being. So I do believe everyone should be treated with a level of respect at the end of the day. And what I would say is, if more and I'm not saying, because some might sit there and go, well, I do, and then think that I'm pointing at them. I'm not. But if more auditors maybe went with a better approach, a calmer approach, a more assertive approach, and you might not agree, and you're perfectly entitled to your opinion, but and you are showing nothing but the utmost respect, and they're not doing that, then I do feel, to a degree, again, you have the right to, like, if someone's not going to show you respect, then, you know, again, I get what you're saying. From the sound of it, it would probably still make you feel shit. You'd probably rather not. However, not everyone's got that same mentality, mindset. There are people that won't stand there and be spoken to like a bit of shit, especially when you've gone out of your way to be so polite, you know. Then I think that if somebody comes to you with disrespect, then sometimes they'll be met with disrespect back. Again, you might not agree with that, but that's just my opinion on it.
Well,
I do think though that you should approach it in that right manner first, though. For that,
and I do, and following on from that, I believe everything you said with that initial approach. Be transparent, show your identity. What's the problem? I think, you know, 90% of the audits with that attitude are going to create a better video, but that's my opinion. You know, all the auditors out there might turn around and say, no, we want the interaction, we want to wind them up, we want them effing and jeffing, we want them to lose the jobs, we want to be approached and screamed at, because that's what makes our video.
It's hard, right? Like, I'll tell you, I've done a video that it weren't so much meant to be an audit, but I was doing a bit of filming outside of business. I was on a public footpath, but and I got met with some right hostility, right? I was called a nonce. I was called all sorts, right? I was threatened with coming back at 5 o'clock, and management come out, heard it all, see it all, pretended like it didn't happen. Obviously actually, I didn't upload the video until 7 months later, right? Because to be honest, it was a bit of a shit show again. I watched it, and to the point where even I got off my bike, and I was like, come on then, mate. Right? And it didn't look good. So for 7 months, I thought, right, I'm not going to put it out there. But then for some reason, I decided to put it out. It got a crazy response, to the point where I would never, in a video, turn around and say, oh, go and leave bad Google reviews on a company. Even if I had a shit interaction with them, me personally, I wouldn't do that. Even if it was a massive multi-billion-pound corporation, I wouldn't turn around and say, go and leave bad Google reviews. However, the response of it was people had taken it off their own back to leave reviews on this company. With no instruction from myself. I didn't know until someone left on the comments, wow, it's going mad over on the Google reviews. Went and checked it out. They had put their company as permanently closed for 24 hours on the website. Well, it was permanently closed, but they'd done that for a period of 24 hours before they lifted it. They wiped a load of Google. Sorry, mate, just give me this lighter. Sorry, what was I saying?
He removed the Google account and put it
right. Sorry, so they removed the Google accounts, and they put a message up themselves trying to say how they were either AI generated or they were paid by inexpensively hired YouTube support, blah blah blah, and how this was another incident of a YouTuber bringing bad reputation to Google and YouTube. And I was quite annoyed by it. Like, at the same time, I kind of was like, shit. There's so many people have left bad reviews, man, and I didn't really want that for them. Even though they did act like dickheads, right? I didn't really wish that for them. But it was the way they'd flipped it and kind of tried to make it look like, and then they said how it was edited. Now, me personally, the only things I'll edit out is, I don't know, just dead footage. I wouldn't like necessarily like the actual interaction or try and make it look a certain way. You're not
gonna manipulate your content to.
No, but that's what they were trying to insinuate that it was like, you know, edited to look a certain way.
Yeah,
And
but
again,
that's
it was that kind of thing there where it was like, if you watch that video, well, it's not no longer up, but if you'd have seen that video, the way I was treated there, mate, was ridiculous. If you'd have seen where I was situated, where I was located, from where their business was, and the layout of the place, yeah. Even if
yeah,
I had been filming directly, there was nothing but a wall. There was nothing, literally,
yeah,
but a wall and 2 vehicles. Now you could turn around and say, "Oh, there's 2 vehicles there. You could be filming them." But come on, you could be filming any. You could be
yeah.
filming any car. I mean, actually, talking about any cars, I heard you say in one of your videos you were talking about you don't think it's right that people might have their registration plates in videos.
Yeah, it is what it is. Obviously, they're on the road, aren't they? It's one of them,
They're on the road.
but it's
It's one of
like
those things.
it's a personal attachment in it. It's one of them. It's going to rile someone. Like if I'm outside my house or I'm outside the shop or parked up anywhere in the world, if somebody's there recording my car and my reg, like I'd rather them not, and I want to ask them why and what they're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just that level of it's a private thing to you, even though it's not. If that makes sense,
Mhm.
it's one of them. I mean, I also mentioned you might tell me that this has happened already, and we just don't know about it, and it's not been made public on YouTube. But
Yeah.
surely one of the auditors has been assaulted. Like, and I'm talking not from somebody who works at the company where they're auditing or anything like that, but I'm talking a backlash from a previous experience, just a couple of young lads or somebody with a bit of anger towards it from a previous video. Surely there's been some sort of interaction or assault that's gone on towards any of the auditors.
Again, Robbo, seriously, mate, like it depends what your thing is, right? But I hear that a lot. Oh, what if I come and stood outside your house? Your place of work isn't your home. Let's get that straight. That is just not your home.
Well,
So it is a bit
beyond
different.
that, I think in the near future, the regulations will change to that. So standing outside a private property, a private business, workplace, and when you're doing the recording from the outside, it's going to be the same as recording somebody's house. And I feel that will change.
Yeah, you might be right. That may come
Definitely,
in,
with
and you
everything
know,
that's
and if
going
you're
on.
going to get people acting in a manner that definitely is going to probably help enforce that more, then you know it's not going to help those that actually like genuinely are in auditing for the right reasons or feel like they're in it for the right reasons. Yeah, because like you
Yeah.
say, some of these interactions and some of these videos you see, I could probably agree with you and say, yeah, some of them probably would be enough to just look at them alone and go, should we tighten up on some laws? Look at what we've got people doing. So
It seems
yeah,
like just
but
a
photography,
minor.
but outside my home again. Sorry, if you wanted to come stand outside, you knew where I lived, and you wanted to come stand and take pictures of my home, or you wanted to film my home, you're more than welcome to. However, if you're going to then post that on social media, that is different from me posting up a video of you in a public place on social media. I would never go to anyone's home. You know what I mean? I'm not going to follow a security guard back to his home or a copper and then dox their address. I wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? That's not. So I don't really understand where that argument stands. Really, it's one I hear a lot, and I don't think it stands up very well.
Do you ever get worried about the way you've carried out an audit might come back on you?
Yeah, but I don't.
Somebody who doesn't care about the law, and they don't care about you, and they don't care about your video, they don't care about being on YouTube flatlining you. Like, is that something that goes through your head with the way you deliver your video?
Yeah, 100%.
But
I do it knowing that might be the case. I mean, if that did happen, obviously, like you say, you might meet someone that don't give a shit. But at the end of the day, they would have then broke the law. I wouldn't have. I'd have still been acting within.
And would you go to the police and report that then?
Would I go to the?
If you was assaulted in public by just someone general who doesn't agree with what you've done,
general member of the public.
Just somebody.
No, not
like,
necessarily. Nah.
You know
No,
what I'm
not
trying
necessarily.
to say is like just if you take you out of the situation. So you've filmed many businesses, and I'm not saying like an employee is going to walk out and lamp you, because that's different. What I'm on about is it coming back to bite you in the ass at a later date, when I'm not working now and I don't longer work there, and I'm going jail for 3 years next week anyway, and he sees you in the street and he thinks that guy wound me up 3 years ago.
That
And
again,
now
I
I've
think
got
comes
nothing
down
to
to the way you
lose.
treat people, man. I think that comes down to the way you treat people.
Yeah,
If you treat
exactly.
people with a
Exactly my
certain
point.
manner,
Exactly
then
my
it shouldn't be a
point.
problem.
So, two questions is, do you worry about that? And then before that, is there any auditors that have dealt with that so far? That's one of the things I spoke about in my videos. You see that it will come back and bite somebody one day, because there's just too many people out there that don't give.
Oh yeah, don't care.
They
I
don't
agree with
care,
that.
and they will seriously hurt you and not blink and think twice about it. So it's only a matter of time as the auditors grow, the amount of companies and the amount of interactions, the amount of people who are at the back of this really annoyed and possibly affected. One of DJ Audit's videos, when he had an interaction with the guys in the Orange Eye Vizzes, it was an Asian man, and he really lost his temper, and he'll probably lose his job from that as well. But it's like, I come away from that thinking, do you know what? He might have 3 brothers and he could have 7 sons that are all fuming, and that money contributed to their house and the family every week, and now he's lost that because
I get that, but then that comes down to their behaviour, man. That comes with the
Of
consequences of their behaviour.
course, but I just wanted to see if
But
that's happened.
yeah, it is something, of course, man. It's like, again, it's not like it's not easy. Like, people sit there and go, "Oh, no one's making you go do it." No, you're right. No one is making you go do it, but no one makes you go out and protest. But people want to go out and protest. No,
Of course.
do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
you do what you want to do. You do what you're passionate
you
about.
hope it don't happen, but definitely, like, when you're gonna. But again, that should come down to the way you treat people. Like, if you've treated someone like a dickhead, then whether you're auditing, you're putting it on social media or not, let's be honest, if you walk up to someone in the street and you start being a dickhead to them, I'd just expect to be landed on the chin. It's as simple as that. That's where I come from. So I would expect that. However, if I've treated someone with the utmost respect and they've still held like some kind of grudge against me, and then they've come and attacked me, then that's just more about them than it does me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, you receive what you give, right? Like, and vice versa. I'm a true believer in that. So
it seems like you certainly have a better approach than most. Obviously, you've admitted that your furthest videos away from when you first started and stuff might be a little different, but you've certainly changed and do things a little different now to how you did in the start. You seem to care more about how the people are feeling, and you just want to go and get your footage and content, and not like you said before, you'd rather have a 10-minute good interaction than a 30-minute bad interaction.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think that more auditors, like, there's no rule book, right? But there's nothing wrong with having a bit of a moral book, where more auditors probably should advocate for a certain approach. Again, don't expect everyone to agree with each other and go, right, this is the way it's done. No, because I don't believe that. That's the whole point in auditing, that everyone's different. Everyone expresses themselves differently. Everyone shares the same rights. But I definitely think that there is some form of like attitude we should have, where we should be approaching these places in the correct way. And if we were doing that and then still getting those bad interactions, I believe that video becomes more powerful than you having to be a prick to get it. Surely.
Does that not? Because you're doing the good thing, you're doing the right thing, you're being open, you're being honest, you're being kind and courteous and polite. And when you don't get that back, and then you don't give that, it's kind of one-sided for them to. That's then on that person, and they have to live and deal with the fact that they will be uploaded because they've put themselves in that situation that you've not manipulated, that you've not encouraged them to act in that way. That is all them off their own back.
Yeah.
Which I don't see anything wrong with that. I feel the withholding the information is causing them to get more irate, to get to that point, and it's like poking. You're poking and poking and poking, and there's going to be a reaction. And if everyone had the same approach as you, this wouldn't be going on. It's only getting worse. I'm sure you can agree with that. Like, it's only getting worse. The newer channels that are starting, they just want violence and aggression. Them
Exposing the auditors, behave yourself. And I sorry, mate, to interrupt you. I do hope that pregnancy is going well for you. I hope you're not too uncomfortable. And don't be too shy. Feel free to make some videos still when you've got a little bit of spare time. Yeah, we miss those videos. Again, there's a lot of auditors that I love exposing the auditors, right? Because she's got her opinion on certain auditors, shall we say, and then she's got her opinion on auditing as well. And actually, when you speak to her, she's not totally against it, like yourself. This is why I think that we need to open more conversation like this, because, like I say, there's a lot more that we'll probably agree on than not. But she does some brilliant things, man. It's all humour. It's light-hearted. She's never really out with malicious intent towards anyone. And she does some really good content. So exposing the auditors, big up yourself. And can you please stop telling people that that's my baby? You will start a rumour on YouTube. You know what YouTube is like. You will start a rumour. And I won't hear the last of it. And I don't want any knocks at the door for child maintenance either. Thank you very much.
Wait till CSA get on to you.
No, mate, I do appreciate you joining me, man. And as I say, it's good to open up a bit of conversation. I kind of wanted to give you my opinion, but at the same time, I just wanted to kind of and with anyone else, don't necessarily, like you said, with members of the public, average workers, don't tar them all with the same brush, because they're not all the same. People have got different agendas. Some people you might think have got the right one. They all will probably tell you that they've got the right agenda, but in reality, that's probably not the case. But yeah, no, it was good to have a bit of a conversation, mate, and open up. I did tag DJ's name in the title as well. Reason being for that is if he wanted to come along and jump on, I would have allowed him to do so. Because I don't think that your videos have been done and they've not been done in a malicious way. It's not like you've tried. It's not a witch hunt. I feel like you definitely have to just give your opinion. And it actually, I watched them a little while ago, and then I watched them today, thinking, right, I'll go back and watch those videos again. And I didn't actually realize that you were somebody that followed DJ, you were subscribed to DJ, liked his content, and then it was actually that you've seen a change that then has made you have the opinion that you have. So again, I thought we'd get on, speak to you about it, and just open conversation. To be honest,
I appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much for the opportunity. When you left the comment, as I said in my video yesterday, what you left the comment on, I weren't going to speak anymore on this. I've kind of just took exactly what I said in my video. Just don't watch it. Just stay away from it. And I can't think about it or have an opinion on it if I don't watch it. Just like anything bad in your life, you just eliminate it and distance yourself from it. It's not part of your mindset, then it's not part of your life.
Yeah, that's a good attitude. Maybe you should speak to the trolls, mate, about that one, because that's what I feel with them. It's like, if you just don't like something, man, just don't watch it. But then at the same time, with that, then you're not going to get the criticism. And as I say, it's only through criticism and listening to the viewers and that over the months and the couple of years that actually, again, I've probably changed my approach. if I hadn't taken things on board from other people and the criticism that
Yeah.
I've had, I'd probably still be doing it in a way where you definitely would disagree with it. I mean, you'll look at some of my content and probably still disagree with it, you know, but
Yeah.
there's definitely a change, and I'm always looking to change, and definitely for me, it's hard, mate. Like even like a police station, I don't even really like going to police stations no more. You know, like just going and standing at the back gate. It's a bit dull, isn't it? You know, like how many times go stand at a back gate of a police station? So in that sense now, I'm more trying to look for like police that are out actively doing their job. You
Yeah.
know, trying to do a bit of cop watching from a side, and you know, and
You know,
things
there's
like
nothing
that.
wrong with that, because there is, at the end of the day, we're all aware there is corruption. There is corruption, and there is police officers out there that will push their limits and throw the weight about a bit. I've seen that. I grew up in the middle of an estate that I've seen that every day. You know, you see the older lads getting slung about all the time off these coppers, and they look juiced up to the nines. You know, they're absolutely huge, and you see it every day. I don't see it every day now, but I have been in an environment where I see that every day. So it's good to, the more you expose them actually physically doing wrong, and then it's online, they're going to think twice about doing it next time. They're going to look around. Is there anyone with a camera in my face watching this? And then that's going to change them, not in necessarily in the best light, but at least it's going to stop them and make them think about doing it. Obviously the best is their mindset to just not be doing that anyway, but if they want to do it and you're exposing them, they're going to think twice about doing it, because you might be sat in your car at the end of the street watching them. So it's all, that's all good stuff. That's all good stuff, and I like that.
Well, like I say, I know you say that you weren't going to mention any more, but I would like to see. I don't know whether you will carry it through. I would like to see you try and reach out to a few companies and see. I think that not a slap in the face towards auditors, but
it's a different approach.
It would definitely be a different approach and a look. I said this would work, and it's worked. If it don't work, I'll sit here and say, yeah. To be honest, I weren't too surprised. But again, fair play for trying. But I could be wrong. I really could.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see how it goes. I have got, like I say, I have got probably definitely five companies that I can do it, that I'll know that I can get in there and do it and do a great video. It's obviously just going to be more of an internal audit. I'm not going to be walking around picking things out. That's more what the viewer's going to do. They might watch the video and be like, oh, that's a bit unsafe. That shouldn't be there, or whatever it may be. But I'm not going to highlight them things. I want to go into the company and highlight everything that they do and the process. And that's what interests me. And when you can do something that interests yourself, it's not, you know, I'm not doing this for views and money. It'd be lovely to get in a position where
I was going to ask you that before we left. I was going to ask you. You said that obviously it's because you watched him and you used DJ because he was kind of relevant or an big influence, or you suspected he was a big influence on that auditing community. Is there a part of you that's kind of played the YouTube game and maybe you knew that it might create you some views and a bit of traction towards this channel?
So basically, I'll just tell you a bit about my story as far as YouTube. So around 2 years ago, I set up my Team Exploring UK channel, and that's just something I love doing. I love exploring. I've done it before, doing videos on it. I was very, very shy back then. I'd never come on the camera. It was always, you know, forward facing, just looking at stuff, never talked or anything. It was more for me. And then I was like, if I can put something on, but the videos were not that good. Then I kind of left it. And then I started back up around 5 months ago with that channel. And then when I'm out doing my videos, I've kind of, you can see the confidence building up. So I've gone from not showing me to then showing me with I had like a neck warmer on. It was winter time anyway. So I'd have a hat and a neck warmer on. So then I'd be talking to the camera, but you can't see my face. So you can slightly see like me evolving as a confident person throughout that.
Yeah.
I've done a few adverts and stuff like that where I've been paid off companies to go and do videos and stuff. So it kind of just all built my confidence to when I come back this time, I'm like, you know, I'm ready for it and I can talk and I can show myself. So then I set up Team Exploring UK Extra, which then allowed me to upload videos that was not related to the exploring channel, which is just strictly exploring and abandoned and stuff like that.
Is that on YouTube as well?
Yeah, so I'm on YouTube. That's me. Well, that was my main channel, Team Exploring UK. Then this channel, Vlogking, was called Team Exploring UK Extra. Started putting a bit of different content on here, which just allowed me to go out and do different things from exploring and upload it, which I kind of enjoy. And then literally, I think I made the video about DJ just because I was so annoyed because I've been a fan for so long, and I don't know whether, like, I definitely, it weren't at the forefront of my thought process. Yes, I'm going to put a video on reacting to DJ audits. I'm going to get loads of views. It's going to be great. Like, that definitely weren't at the forefront of it.
Okay.
And then when I put the video out, I changed the channel then just because it did well. And I thought, you know what, I want to start doing vlogs. I put a mystery box video on there. Don't get me wrong, like I'm a new channel. It is very new. And I just want to grow with it, and I want this channel, me Vlogking. I literally just want to be able to do. I did an advert. I did a video shoot a couple of weeks ago. So I just did a day in my life vlog. I'm going to the gym in the morning. I've got 5-6 pounds to strip just to try and make myself look a bit better because I'm not in fighting shape. So I go to the gym and I'm just talking, and then I go to the shoot, which is in a boxing gym, and I played the character of I was fighting for a world title and I got beat up. So I just did a video of me vlogging going around that day, and I just loved it. You know, not so much me subscribers and wide variety of viewers. I think I enjoyed it more than anyone, but it's nice to be able to do it. And obviously with me doing my adverts and being more confident behind the camera, and then I have a construction company which I've had for 3.5 years now. Like, my back hurts, my knees hurt. Like, I'd love to get away from that, and if I can do a couple of movies, adverts, or whatever gets thrown my way through that kind of aspect, and then do my YouTubing, I can go and do my exploring videos. I've got my own vlogging channel with Vlogking. Like, that's just going to benefit me, and I can build off that. And if I can get off the tools, that's fantastic. But I don't need to do it. I want to do it, and I enjoy doing it. Hence why I won't go out and do an audit the way you guys do it, because it was nice to watch with DJ doing it last year when I enjoyed when he raised the health and safety aspect of the workplace, because I've got my site manager SMSTS. So this kind of, he's always on industrial estates. I always work on industrial estates. There's always been that tie in, and I'd love to get off the tools, obviously, in the next few years, rather than working till I'm 60, 70-year-old, breaking me back. I can't get labourers. I've been through about 6 labourers in 12 months. I do the majority of work myself, which is, it's construction, it's civil engineering. It's a lot of heavy graft and digging and whatnot. So yeah, I'm just trying to just
Fine,
do what
well,
I
big
can.
shout out to Vlogking. I admire you for taking the chance to speak, but it will not change anything on regards to obnoxious orders. Again, you're right? One person, just like one order, one person, that ain't going to change the world, mate.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
what it's
That's
about, what this was about for me, is I would definitely like to see a little bit more coming together. Auditors as well. Auditors being a little bit more acceptive to the criticism,
I
rather
say
than
my
see them all as trolls.
just go easy on them. Like, take a minute to think about what that person could be going through in their life, because especially, you know, coming out of COVID, and you'll know yourself, men's mental health is like, the suicide rate is just through the roof. I've said I'm actually starting to do podcasts on this channel, Vlogking, and my first guest is a very good mate of mine, and it's so sad the amount of mates he's lost. I think it's like 7 mates in 3 years, and it's like, come on. Like,
Yeah, no, it's
you've got
crazy.
auditors going out there, like they're goading people and making them feel shit and calling them, and not necessarily saying that this is all DJ as well. You know, these are others. They're going in and they're just absolutely going at them, calling them, and I just see things from a different angle. I see things from a different angle, and I'm expressing my opinion, and I think everyone here can agree with there's nothing up with that at all.
No, and I don't, and I think it should be. Again, I don't know if DJ's watched, if he got the notification. I would like to have seen him come along, to be honest.
Yeah.
Compared to some people that put their opinions across about auditing, right? I think you've done it in the right manner, which is, again, one of the reasons why I've approached you and wanted to have a conversation with you. Felt actually that I'm not going to come on and be speaking to somebody that's going to come on, start insulting me. It's not going to be that way. I could tell that from the way that you were coming across in your videos. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's a bit of a shame. I would have liked to have seen him come along and have a bit of a conversation with you, especially with the fact that you've already said that you were a subscriber of the channel, man. You liked his work. I think it would have been nice to see him come along. But yeah, man, I'm not going to go on too much longer. Like I say, I would like to thank you again for coming on, bro, and apologies for obviously making you wait. I'd say things are a bit mad here at home. But yeah, it's been a pleasure having you on, mate. And like I say, if nothing else out of this, man, if it just people rather than, and again, do you know, it comes with the people as well that come in and criticize, right? They could take something from yourself that actually. Again, if you come across in the right manner, you might actually come across better to the auditors. But when you're coming in and it's all abuse, obviously, just like anyone's going to get their back up. So I definitely think there's some room for people, the anti-auditors, if you like, and the auditors, every now and again coming together. Even if, I don't know, maybe I should start holding a live where I find a few more guys like yourself that they're not totally against it. Maybe they are totally against it. And maybe we could take a few recent videos and talk about them. And I don't know, maybe see what kind of route it's going down, man. And then we get a few auditors up as well, right? And we can open a proper conversation, hopefully, without anyone being abusive. And like I say, man, opening conversation, because it's you guys at the end of the day. It's you, everyone in the chat, these guys with the anti-auditor channels and all of that. It's you guys, whether you like it or not, that I'm trying to show that actually it's not all about being a dickhead. And there is a bit more of a point to this. And trying to get people that, even if they're still not going to agree, that maybe we might have just met in the middle a little bit more. And we can at least say, right, I've got a level of respect for your opinion, and I've got a level of respect for yours. And if I can just achieve that by doing things like this, then for me, I feel like my conscience towards what I'm trying to achieve through auditing is in the right direction. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. And I'm pretty sure after our interaction for the past hour and a half and the way that it's gone, you will sleep well tonight. You will sleep with a smile on your face, thinking about me. But you get what I'm saying. If we'd have sat here and bickered and argued for an hour and a half, your adrenaline's going to be going. You're going to be laid in bed thinking over everything we've said in a negative light. And before you know it, your sleeping pattern's knackered. It's not worth it, is it?
That's it, mate. That's it. It just only makes you die younger, bro. No one needs that. So.
Of course, that's the one.
But no, honestly, mate, thanks for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. And yeah, like I say, I'm going to leave it as some things I disagree with you on, but actually a lot of what you say I think makes sense. I do think that there's an aspect of it that you still don't understand. I think that we'd probably need a lot longer to go through that. But
Yeah,
now
but
I'm
at the
told.
end of the day, like you said, it's a kind of been there, done that. You've got to, sometimes you've got to do something to fully understand it. You've got to put yourself in that position. You can't sit there and say you're the best footballer in the world, but you've never played football. You know, it is what it is. You've got to, you cannot, you can't claim that you know something about something until you've physically done it, studied it, understood it, and physically carried it out yourself.
Yeah. But I would say if you used to, I hope you still do watch DJ stuff. Because
Unfortunately
again, I'm going to
not.
say I disagree with some of the stuff. I don't believe that that guy goes out there and purposely tries to offend people or upset people and make sure that people have had a shit day. I don't believe that. I've met the guy. I've spoke to the guy on many occasions, and he just is not that guy. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe you got to meet him in person to realize that. But
Maybe,
again,
yeah.
you know, yeah, definitely don't write the guy off. I rate him very much. I think what he does, he's very good at. He brought a new niche to auditing, a new direction to auditing, and I think there's a lot that whether you're doing private companies or you're doing more the other side of things, that there's a lot of good things to take from what DJ does.
Yeah, certainly. He's
As
by
for the other
far.
stuff where you say, "Oh, not so much," well, that happens loads in a lot of auditors, man. I could sit here and say there's some I don't agree with. Auditors would say they don't agree with what I do with. So it is what it is, mate. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
again, I do appreciate you coming on. I wish you all the success with your Vlogking channel. I will get one of the moderators now to put the link in the chat for you, so people
Appreciate
have got the
that.
choice
Thank
to
you.
go over and subscribe to yourself. And
I appreciate
yeah,
that.
man. Maybe
Yeah,
we can do this
anytime,
again
mate.
sometime, bro.
Anytime, mate. Yeah, my inbox is always open to you. Thank you very much for the time and good chat. Good chat. It's been great. I said on my video that when I went live waiting for you, I did honestly expect to come into this with a couple of auditors and kind of prepared myself for not for a battle, so to speak, but I felt like there'd have been a couple. So I appreciate the fact that you're here on your own and you've took the time out to listen and speak professionally and decent. And I appreciate that because I did honestly expect and prepare myself for something a little different. So I appreciate that.
Like I say, mate, again, maybe some months ago, but it's all about us.
Yeah.
Like I say, if I can open conversation, man, it's better. They're going to get, like I say, I still don't agree with everything you're saying, man. And I know a lot of people in the chat won't. There's a lot of people that do agree with you. Again, it's good, man. It's healthy debate's good.
That's what it's all about, though, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
Exactly that, bro. Exactly that.
Thank you
all right,
very
mate.
much.
Well, Sam, thanks for your time, mate. And yeah, hopefully I'll speak to you sometime in the future.
Yeah, same to you, mate. Take it easy. Thank
you.
No
worries, man. Take care, mate.
Bye-bye.
So yes, guys, there we are. There was a little chat with Vlogking there. I imagine there'll be mixed opinions on that. There'll be mixed opinions. Some people will say maybe I went a bit light on him. Some guys that are anti-orders will say he went a bit light on me. But as I say, it's all about opening conversation, man, and sharing these opinions. And again, we might not all agree. We might not take what each other says on board, but who knows? We might, right? And I think that he had some good points. I think, as I said, there were some points where I felt he still doesn't really understand what auditing's about. But then that's just my opinion. Someone will have a different opinion about what auditing's about. Yes, exactly, Jerry. Exactly. That's why I'm saying don't give up on DJ if you used to watch him, because genuinely, if you think that DJ is hostile or you think DJ is like this, then I think you're quite mistaken. Because for someone who's gone out and done some audits with him, he's actually the polar opposite. I'd say I'm more like that, and he's the polar opposite of that. And then the things that he'll pick up on that other people don't. I could go to the same location 10 times and I would not pick up on certain things that he'll just pick up off the bat. He'll notice things off the bat. And again, that's why DJ's been so successful, because what happens is he brings a level of education to the videos. As I say, when I go out and do these private companies, I can't do it, so I don't do them. Me personally, I can't do it. I don't have that education. So for me, I'd just be going there. I don't know. A lot of time I just go around and do a lot of waffling. So it is what it is. But someone like DJ, he knows machinery, he knows things within the factory, you know, and he articulates it well. So yeah, I agree with that. DJ is honest, got morals, and kind-hearted. And I definitely don't think that anyone that thinks that DJ goes out and purposely goes out to make someone have a bad day or upset someone. That's just not DJ. That's not him. That's not his personality. And I think that's a bit of a cop out, but that's just my opinion. Andrew McGowan, I felt you slammed DJ. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. How can I slate him? I said, what did I say? What did I say about DJ that was bad? Please explain. I said about the mask thing, maybe don't wear a mask. But other than that, all good. All good. Highly rate DJ. Think he's very good at what he does. Brought a new niche to auditing. Was more well spoken. Like I don't really understand what was negative there towards DJ. If I'm honest with you. And actually, that's another reason why I brought that guy over, because he was saying some things about DJ that I didn't agree with. You know, and I think that if we're pointing, yes, I get it. I mentioned DJ because he's one of the more influential, bigger channels. But I think if you're highlighting DJ, then that's again, I think you're reaching. I think you're reaching. All welcome in the Jitsi room after this. Yeah, everyone's welcome into the open Jitsi room. It is an open room, a public room that we do open after the lives, where people can come in. You don't have to have your camera on. You can speak. You can choose not to speak. You can sit there and just type in the chat if you don't want to actually speak. So yeah, again, I took a lot from DJ because I learned a lot from DJ Jerry in the couple of times I went out with him. You know, like I definitely couldn't do what he does with the industrial estates. I couldn't do it. I've tried. I'll tell you what, I'll go out and do some. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go out. If not this week, I'm going to go out at the beginning of next week, right? And I'm going to go and do some PINAC audits at some private companies, right? And I'm going to show you what I mean. That there's just nothing in between me turning up and potentially getting that interaction. There's nothing. I can't explain nothing to you. I ain't going to educate you very well. So they're just not really for me. But I will try some. I will try some. But I'm telling you, they're not for me. My heart's not in it the same way. And best to leave that to the people that actually do a good job of it, which are people like DJ. So yeah, again, as for throwing DJ under the bus, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. And that's just it. So again, I'm going to leave that there and say thank you to Vlogking for coming along and having the courtesy to take the time to reply to me reaching out to him, and then for coming on here, especially after I made him wait about an hour late, maybe a little bit more from the original 8:30 time. So yeah, again, I apologize to him for that. I want to thank everybody who's come into the chat, whether you're anti-auditing or you're pro-auditing. From what I've seen, and I could be wrong, most people have kept it respectful in the chat. If there's a few that haven't, I imagine it got dealt with accordingly. But I'd like to say those that are pro-auditing, You also were pretty respectful towards Vlogking, so I'd like to thank you for that. It's nice to see that even if you don't agree, that there's nobody causing any hate. Have we got that link put in yet? Eyes on the audit. Are you going to put that Jitsi room in the link? The link in the link. Put the link in the chat. That's what I meant. Oh yeah, that happens. That happens. That's what I mean. I open up a conversation and all of a sudden BBA threw everyone under the bus and BBA's the devil. BBA's the devil because he's willing to open conversation with people. Ah, damn you, BBA, you fucking Satan. There. You know what I mean? You can't win. You can't win. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So yeah. I listen with me, yeah. I ain't out to please people. I'm just out to just be me and give my opinion. I'm not there. Like I said, too many sheep, not enough shepherds. Yeah, remember that, people. Too many sheeps in this world and not enough shepherds. If more people learn to think for themselves and express their opinions without people the worry of people trying to shut you down, the world would be a better place. But on that note, I am going to leave it and say thanks to everyone joining again. I do appreciate it. And I hope that you've enjoyed it to a degree. And it did bring something different. So hopefully we'll do it again. And, you know, maybe we'll invite some other people on that are anti-auditors and maybe try and get some auditors and open a good conversation. But enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your CBBA sucking up to DJ. See, you can't win either way. Enjoy your evening, guys. Thanks for joining and stay blessed. Yeah, peace.